Good day everyone. I am Jeanette Benamira and we are the Group 10 reporter on the subject of pricing strategy. I am with Daniela Mercado, Hannah Romero, Jessica Santelices, and Irene Mariano. And the topic we will discuss is product lifecycle pricing and the pricing decisions and the laws by Dennis P.W. Johnson. Product life cycle pricing is an important pricing strategy that allows companies to forecast and improve sales. Yes, because businesses or companies use product life cycle pricing to better understand how discounts, clearance prices, new versions, and marketing can affect their sales in each phase. And it is also help your business tighten its marketing focus with improved efficiency. The term product life cycle describes the period of time from when a product is first made available to consumers until it is taken off the market. Product life cycle describes and involves the stages through which a product goes from the time it is introduced to the market till it leaves the market and is phased out. A product is like a person that has their own life cycle. As a human beings, we have a definitive lifespan that starts with a birth and concludes with death. The products we consume experience the similar. Before introducing a new product or services to the market, it's important to understand the concept of the product life cycle. And this concept is used by management and by marketing professionals as a factor in deciding when it is appropriate to increase advertising, reduce prices, expand to new markets, or redesign packaging. Product life cycle strategy. A properly managed product life cycle strategy can assist in extending the shelf life of your product. Why is product life cycle important? The life cycle of a product is significant since it informs management on the performance of the product and potential strategic directions.
Product life cycle is usually broken down into 4 stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. The various stages of product's life cycle determine how it is marketed to consumers. Introduction. At this stage, sales tends to be slow as demand is created. This stage can take time to move through, depending on the complexity of the product, how new and innovative it is, how it suits customers' needs, and whether there is any competition in the marketplace. A new product development that is suited to customers' needs is more likely to succeed, but there is plenty of evidence that products can fail at this point, meaning that stage 2 is never reached. Growth stage. At this point, the competitors may enter the market with their own versions of your product, either direct copies or with some improvements. Branding becomes important to maintaining your position in the marketplace as the customers is given a choice to go somewhere else. Product pricing and availability in the marketplace become important factors to continue driving sales in the phases of increasing competition. Next stage is maturity. At this point, a product is established in the marketplace, and so the cost of producing and marketing the existing product will decline. As the product life cycle reaches this mature stage, there are the beginnings of market saturation. Many consumers will now have bought the product and competitors will be established, meaning that branding, pricing, and product differentiation becomes even more important to maintain a market share. Last stage is the decline stage. Eventually, as competition continues to rise, with other companies seeking to emulate your success with additional product, features, or lower prices, so the life cycle will go into decline. Decline can also be caused by new innovations that replaces your existing product, such as going out of fashion as the automobile took over and so on. Many companies will begin to move into different ventures as market saturation means there is no longer any profit to be gained.
Here are some benefits of using life cycle pricing for new products. Improve marketing strategies, enhance customer loyalty, increase profits, a more reputable brand, reliable sales forecasting, and improve decision making.
The aims of the law: pricing. Antitrust law in the United States generally seeks to encourage competition rather than to safeguard rivals. It is too early to predict how future administration may change federal antitrust enforcement. The current administration's policy statements promise a renewed focus on enhancing competition and preventing exclusionary and predatory conduct. Historical foundation of American antitrust legislation is price fixing. In a typical price fixing scenario, two rivals agree to charge the same price for gasoline. Agreement to stop competing has the effect of restraining competition. As a result, lower prices are no longer available. The Supreme Court has ruled that an agreement to charge the same price must fall under this category. Price fixing, such as bid rigging, still applies this conclusive presumption. The two rivals may not argue that their agreement is justified by its unique purpose or provide analysis of the real impact it has on competition. The expansion of the exception to this presumption, which now mainly have absorbed the per se rule, has taken decades of sluggish economic enlightenment. Instead, those exclusions are assessed using the rule of reason to determine their actual impact on competition. Okay, so it is important to understand both what the antitrust law seek to police and what they do not. The general goal of U.S. antitrust law is to promote competition, not to protect competitors. The law therefore targets pricing behavior that deprives consumers of benefits of competition. This is a conceptual starting point for any court evaluating a pricing scheme. So it means ang aims or the law of pricing is hindi siya nagpo-promote ng competition. Okay. Nagpo-promote ito ng competition pero hindi para protektahan yung competitor. So this is important, especially the law of pricing, because every consumer should know the way on how we will price an item.
So, yung next po is yung unlawful pricing behavior. So, from the word unlawful po, ito yung mga labag sa batas na pag-uugali ng mga negosyante sa pagpili nila ng presyo para sa kanilang product. So, once nagtayo po tayo ng isang business, for example, milk tea shop, once we design our product, we promote it and we figured out how to make available to the customers. We also have to determine what is the right price for that product na afford ng mga customers natin. So maraming paraan ng pagpili ng tamang presyo or maraming paraan para malaman kung ano yung tamang presyo sa iyong product. But there are some key things na dapat nating iwasan sa pag-set ng price para sa ating product. And one of those are price discrimination. So, ano nga ba yung price discrimination na to? So, it is occurs when a seller of the products regularly offer a lower price to its preferred customers and higher price to the others when selling them the same or similar products at around the same time. So, bakit nga ba ito iniiwasan o ipinagbabawal ng government na paraan ng pagpepresyo ng product or servisyo? Bakit ba ito big deal, kumbaga? Because the price discriminations kasi ay nagke-create ng unfair competition. Bakit? So, let's assume na nagbibenta ako ng cookies. And I want to sell my cookies to one retailer for 200 pesos kada box. And at the same time, gusto ko ring ibenta yung cookies ko sa another retailer. At dahil nakita kong mas maraming bibili doon, ibebenta ko ng 300 pesos per box naman yung cookies ko. So, sa ganong sitwasyon, kailangan ko ba na taasan yung presyo ko sa isang store na alam ko makakuha ako ng malaking income, or dapat ko bang babaan yung presyo ko sa isang store na alam ko na konting income lang ang makukuha ko? So, neither of those is a very good options for retailers kasi para sa kanila, unfair yung ganong presyo. Ganong pag-iisip ng pagpepresyo sa product. So, that's why I say that price discriminations is creating unfair competitions. So, if we sell that product for 200 pesos per box or per unit in January, and then by June, it costs more to make than nung January, we can change more, and that's not considered price discriminations, and it's not unfair. So the key is that cost have to stay the same, or rather have to change for us to change our price to different buyers. This also doesn't apply to transportation fee. So if someone is buying on the other side of the country or on the other side of the world, probably they're going to pay a little more in order to get that product to them or sa atin. That's completely fine because it's different in cost than we have to cover, and therefore we can change the price without engaging in what calls price discrimination. So, broadly speaking, the law recognitions four categories of anti-competitive and therefore prohibited pricing behavior. So, number one is price fixing. So, it is an agreement among competitors to rise, lower, maintain, or stabilize price or price levels. So, it is a written and a verbal agreement or infer from conduct. So, there are two kinds of price fixing. Ito yung horizontal price fixing and the vertical price fixing. So, ang horizontal price fixing, it is a generic or the most generic types of price fixation because it means sellers for similar products can increase the price altogether and or to minimize and maximize their price. For example, when two competing fast food chains na nagbebenta ng hamburger ay nag-agree or sumang-ayon sila sa parehong presyo ng cheeseburger nila.
Good day everyone, my name is Irene Mariano and my topic for today is that what is international antitrust enforcement? What is international antitrust enforcement? Stated there that they're enforcing federal competition and consumer protection laws that prevent anti-competitive, deceptive, and unfair business, which means a series of regulation known as antitrust were created to control a company practices and also ensure that a fair competition takes place in an open market economy for benefits of consumer. In the United States, antitrust is a component of competition law and consists of restriction on how business must conduct their businesses. So what does the enforcement of antitrust law do? According to the Federal Trade Commission, competition mission is to ensure the rules of the competitive marketplace. The antitrust law, this law promotes vigorous competition and protect consumer from anti-competitive merger and business practices. Which means antitrust law protect competition, free and open competition, benefits consumer by ensuring lower prices and new and better products in a freely competitive market. Each competing business generally will try to attract consumers by cutting its price and increasing the quality of its product or services. That's how the antitrust law do in a businesses. There are three antitrust law that develops in US. The first one is the Sherman Antitrust Act. Second one is the Federal Trade Commission Act, and the last one is the Clayton Antitrust Act. The first one is the Sherman Antitrust Act. This was submitted or passed or nagawa tong batas na to when it's 1890s. The aim of this antitrust law is the act aimed to promote economic fairness and competitiveness while regulating interstate commerce. The Sherman Antitrust Act was the U.S. Congress' first attempt to address the use of trust as a tool that enabled a limited number of individuals to control certain key industries. The last one is the Clayton Antitrust Act. Is a piece of legislation passed by the U.S. Congress signed into law in 1914 that defines unethical. Just the aim of the antitrust law is that it defines unethical business practices such as price fixing and monopolies and upholds various rights of labor. Second one is the Federal Trade Commission. This was established when 1914 by the Federal Trade Commission Act as part of the Wilson administration. So, the aim of this antitrust law is preventing and eliminating anti-competitive businesses practices including coercive monopolies.